Ibn Battuta's epic 75,000-mile adventure, a hidden tale. 8,000 miles, that's how far Google Maps says it is from London to Tokyo. It's about 67,000 miles further than the longest flight in the world. But for our next story, that distance seems much shorter because it was covered by a single person. Almost 700 years ago, his name was Ibn Battuta. He left his home in 1325 and set out on for pilgrimage, but continued a journey of 75,000 miles. He walked across North Africa, parts of Asia and even Europe. He crossed oceans and deserts, sailed through storms and shipwrecks. He served as a judge in India. He was robbed at least twice and married. He journeyed for 29 years. His story has inspired generations of travelers, scholars and dreamers. But what if I told you that not everyone knows about this amazing adventure? You see, Ibn Battuta's story is largely untold. Very few people know how he managed to cover so much ground in such a short time, how he fought off dangers and overcame obstacles, how he navigated different cultures and acquired different skills. You see, his story is more than just a journey. It's a testament to human curiosity, courage, adaptability, and the thirst for knowledge. The 75,000-mile journey, the untold story of Ibn Battuta. So here's the story of Ibn Battuta, the man who walked 75,000 miles. In the year 1325, in the bustling city of Tangier, Morocco, a 21-year-old law student named Ibn Battuta decided to embark on a journey. His goal, a pilgrimage to Mecca, the holiest city in Islam. This trip alone would take months and test his faith and stamina. He said goodbye to his mother, father, and friends and started walking east. He crossed deserts and mountains, oases and rivers. He dodged bandits and storms, hunger and fatigue. And after a year of hardship, he arrived in Cairo, the capital of Egypt and the heart of Islamic learning and culture. It was here that Battuta realized that his journey was far from over. He had barely scratched the surface of the world. He had seen only a tiny part of the vast empire of Islam, and he wanted to see more. So he turned right and headed towards Palestine. There he visited the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. He marveled at its beauty and sanctity. And then he moved on to Syria as he approached Damascus. And finally, he reached the holy city of Mecca. It was everything he had dreamed of and more. He saw the Kaaba, the black cube that Muslims face when they pray. He circled it 7 times and prayed with millions of other pilgrims. But instead of going back home, he kept going. First to India. He spent 3 years there, traveling to Delhi, the capital of the Delhi Sultanate. He even served as a judge in a court there for some time. Then to Persia. He also faced dangers as he traveled through Central Asia, like being attacked by brigands and having to escape on foot. From there, he went to Somalia, Yemen, the Maldives, China, even parts of Russia. His travels took him across continents and cultures. He saw the best and worst of humanity. He experienced kindness and generosity, but also greed and envy. He learned many languages: Arabic, Persian, Turkish, Chinese, Hindi, and more. And he adapted to different customs and traditions. He dressed like the locals. He ate their food. He also kept detailed notes of everything he saw and heard. He described the people, places, things, events, and ideas of each region. And he analyzed them with a critical and comparative perspective. After 29 years of non-stop travel, he had enough material for a lifetime of scholarship. But first, he needed to get home. In 1354, he returned to Morocco and reunited with his old friends and family. He settled down in Tangier and started writing his memoirs. He dictated his stories and experiences to a fellow scholar named Ibn Juzayyi, who wrote them down in a beautiful Arabic prose. It is called Rihla, or The Journey. It covers more than 44,000 miles of his travels and contains valuable information about the geography, history, society, economy, politics, and culture of the medieval world. It also shows how he transformed from a young pilgrim to a mature traveler, from a naive observer to a critical thinker. He didn't just write about the exotic or bizarre, he also wrote about the ordinary and everyday. He wrote about markets and bazaars, clothes and cuisine, customs and courtesies, joys and sorrows, victories and defeats. He wrote about everything that made life worth living. He was not the first to travel around the world. Before him, there were other adventurers like Marco Polo, who traveled to Asia and wrote about it. But Battuta's journey was longer and more comprehensive. He traveled 4 times more than Marco Polo, and he covered more than twice as many countries. He also had a different purpose and method. Polo wanted to find new trade routes for the Venetians, and he focused on business and politics. Battuta focused on culture and society. But thankfully, more scholars and travelers are now paying attention to his amazing adventure. For example, H.A.R. Gibb, a British historian, edited and translated his travels into English and called it the greatest book of its kind ever written. Marcel Griol, a French anthropologist, studied his interactions with African cultures and said that he was the father of African ethnography. Paul Horn, an American author, followed his route and wrote about his impact on world history. But why is his story largely untold? One reason is that he traveled before the age of modern communication and documentation. He wrote his memoirs in Arabic, which was not widely circulated in Europe. Another reason is that his work was overshadowed by other travelers of his time, like Polo, who was more famous and more influential. A third reason is that his legacy was affected by the colonial bias of the West. Ibn Battuta's story is important for many reasons. It shows us the richness and diversity of our world. It teaches us the importance of cultural exchange and understanding. It inspires us to explore new places and challenge ourselves. It also reminds us of the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit. Despite all the hardships and challenges he faced, Ibn Battuta never gave up. He kept going because he had a passion for learning and a love for his work. I hope his story will inspire you too, to learn more about him and his incredible adventures. I highly recommend reading his book, which is available in many languages, or watching a documentary film about him which captures the essence of his journey. Thank you for watching this video.